Go create thin-based topicals designed for real life. Work, workouts, and everything in between. Crafted with hemp seed oil and natural botanicals. Our balms and body care help you feel good in your skin. Find your rhythm. Find your rhythm at PiedmontHealthHealth.com. Piedmont Hemp Co. Wellness that fits your rhythm.
Bright lights, big city. Good morning, Vegas. It's the Chris Thomas Morning Show. Fly Cry, Uncle James, Hall of Fame.
Your easy pay, Hoppers, the original host. Chris Thomas, the mayor in Vegas. Relay like all other Vegases. Every time you on the radio, you say it's us. Plus, we got Terminator X on the cut. In the public, the enemy gets off in the cut. Run a back of mad leaks with the cubic cuts. Your music that'll make you do the butt. We're storing for show. We're here to introduce you to the morning show.
Chris is chillin', Terminator's chillin', Hall of Famers rapping people what you think. Layla is chillin', Soren is chillin', Click work for Billy and we got mad links. James Gang reppin', Big Wig reppin'. In Cleveland, LA to Vegas, Fly Cry, LeBron James a rap. I'm a pro model, I see your brain the cap.
What's up, Vegas? And welcome to the Chris Thomas Show. I'm here with the top-notch all-star team. We have Soren Baker. What's up? The ambassador. What's happening?
Things are good, Chris. Glad to be here.
And we got the Hall of Famer, Terminator X. What's happening?
Peace, 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 and love, Chris. Peace, everybody.
And we got Newly LaRue. What's happening, baby?
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
And DJ Mad Links is in Montreal. Boy, that guy gets around. When I grow up, I want to be just like him. The Chris Thomas Show is brought to you by 100% sucker-free brands and, of course, PiedmontHempCo.com. Find your rhythm. And believe me, a lot of people who use this stuff, who have like arthritis, joint pain, they are giving me some good reports. So I'm glad that I use it because it helped me also. So today we have a great show for you. And Noonie, what we got? What we got, baby?
Listen, this is what we got. Paris Jackson, okay, opens up about her vocal cord and ultrasound journey, okay? So health is wealth. We got to keep that together. And then we got Sierra Miller talking about Dancing with the Stars. Okay, woo, heels and cardio and courage. That's what I'm talking about. And then we got another Ebola outbreak in Africa. Baby, what is going on? Not again. And then we got these teen takeovers. Woo, parents, y'all might be taking over them legal fees, okay? Plus all that. And then we also got lifestyle in Vegas with High Panda, where we eat, we vibe, and we be outside, okay? All that and more on the Chris Thomas Show, where in this top not all-star team.
All right, and this is the only show that sounds like a podcast, but it's a radio show. And I want to let everybody know that you can go to YouTube and you can watch us as we flow through this show. And right about now, it's time for the BO quote of the day.
Hello, everybody. This is BO, the 44th, with the celebrity quote of the day. Your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life. Quoted by Steve Jobs. And that was the celebrity quote of the day. Now back to the Chris Thomas Show with the top-notch all-star team. Live from Vegas on KSHP 107.1 FM and 1400 AM. Have a great day, everybody.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little love.
And if nobody told you today they love you, I'm really serious. It seems like people are, the young kids, the grown-ups, everybody is not thinking about the love and all the things that our great creator has given us. Think a little bit. think a little bit before you act. And
I'm serious too. If ain't nobody told you today, you know, how rude of them, happy birthday here at the Top Notch All-Star Team Chris Thomas Show. Happy birthday.
all right, now it's time for a little bit of love and happiness.
Hello, this is Diamond D with Love and Happiness, where I'm giving you some love advice, some happiness advice, some everyday good advice to make your day a little more loving. I was recently asked what a person should include on a dating profile. A profile can include information and pictures that reflect you and your personality, but there are certain pictures that should never be on your dating profile. For example, number 1, pictures that you would feel uncomfortable showing your parents or your grandparents. Number 2, any picture of you with your children or family members. Number 3, screenshot photos of your credit score. Remember, this is a dating site, not a loan application. Lastly, any pictures of you with your former spouse, including old wedding pictures. Although a guy friend revealed to me that he thought these pictures showed he was not afraid to commit, many people can interpret those same pictures as his inability to let go of the past and previous relationship. This is Diamond D with Love and Happiness. Be sure to check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and SoundCloud, where I'm working to make your day more loving.
Before sex or after? That's all I want to know.
It's gonna have to be before because they got to search for them.
Well, you know, it's incredible, Noonie, Sorn, and X-Man. It's like sex. I don't know if it's a good thing because it seems like everybody's doing it, but nobody's happy. You know, when I first experienced it, even when we used to tour, I used to try to learn what is it that makes women go wild. And then after I found out what it is, I'm a little settled now. But I think a lot of men and women need to find out that it's very important when they bring a kid into the world. Are they in love with this guy? And fellas, are you in love with her? It's easy to make a baby, but then to keep her and her wanting to be around you all the time because you are the man, you are the champion. What about you, Noonie?
I want to talk about what Diamond D talking about because she's talking about some of these profile pictures. I want to give a person who is on the dating app some tips, you know, on the dating profile. Don't be posting no 12 group pictures, okay? And one blurry bathroom selfie. We're not doing that. Clean the mirror. And then also, you know, they trying to find you, not where's Waldo, okay? That's it. That's all I got to say. But if you on there, good luck.
X-Man?
Yes. Oh, man. I'm a pass.
Sorn, you going to pass too?
Well, I've never been on a dating app, so I don't know how they work. But yeah, I would. A lot of Diamond D's suggestions are a little bizarre to me, but that's me.
All right. And I want to say hello to Big Ham up in Michigan, Jackson, Michigan. Yeah, Ham, what's up? They said they're listening to the show. So we got it's just interesting, man, how all this sex with Cardi B and it's all, but no one is saying they're happy. No one is saying I got to have that guy back, or dude ain't saying I got to have that female back. I don't know what's going on. So we're gonna get to our first topic of the day. Let's go with Paris Jackson. Talks about her vocal cords ultrasound. I think what I'm hearing is she said that she's singing so much till something on her neck is sticking out. But don't forget, she's a full-blooded Jackson. So let's listen to what Paris has to say. It's good to see them all grown up now.
Okay, so the update is I have just the slightest amount of redness on my vocal cords, but there's no calluses from singing. And also, the reason my neck looks as weird as it does is just because, you know, I have exercised those muscles from singing for so long, and that just happens with singers. It's just a little bit more obvious in me because I'm skinny.
So I didn't know she was a singer. I just thought she was taking that money and just spending it and having a good time. Did you know that, Soren?
Barely. So I don't know. I don't know about much about young Paris, but hopefully she'll be okay. I just want her to be happy and healthy.
Exactly. See, I mean, she had some other stuff that she was talking about that she seemed like she was about to cry, but we'll do that another day. What about you, X-Man?
Like, so I wasn't really aware. I can't comment because I don't know anything about her career, singing career. I wish her the best.
Well, I need to ask you, do you think it will fly? Will you think that people give her the opportunity like they gave her father? You want to answer that quick, Soren?
I think because of her lineage, she's automatically going to get listened to with and more opportunities. But then she's got to be the one to deliver, and
right.
that's where it really comes down. Are people going to hold her to a artificially high standard? Probably, but they'll also probably give her a pass at the same time because of who she is. So it'll be interesting to see how things progress.
X-Man, you want to add real quick?
What's the question again?
Do you think her career is going to fly? I mean, they're going to give her an opportunity.
She's going to get opportunity. And like Soren said, as long as she come bring it and she has good stuff, she'll do well. But you got to come bring it.
Noonie?
What do you think? I knew she was a singer.
Okay.
But, I just didn't know that it was to the capacity to where you can, hurt your vocal cords. I didn't know it was that strong. I didn't know that was going on. Because I always seen on the ground with a guitar, so like she was a street corner player. That's what it looked like to me. But I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? So if she doing it, she going that hard, then okay, we gotta listen. We gotta see what she coming out with. When's the next EP? You know what I'm saying?
Well, most of all, she's a Jackson, and when you're a Jackson, you have that talent naturally. So right about now, it's time for a little comedy. I want to check out my girl Dominique. And this is the AHA Sin City Comedy Spotlight here on the Chris Thomas Show with the top-notch all-star team.
Can you skinny and you're black and you wear glasses? Urkel. My name is Orlando Baxter, and if you can't tell by my accent, I'm black. So. I know that's obvious to most of you guys in here. But I grew up in a Hispanic neighborhood, predominantly Hispanic, and they all thought I was Dominican because I could roll my R's. Like whenever I say my name, I'm like, hi, I'm Orlando. And they get real excited, They'll be like, Orlandito! Orlando, ¿qué pasó? And then I'd have to tell them the truth. Sorry, I'm basketball black, not baseball black.
All right, that was Orlando. Still the Dominique. My bad. When I be writing up everything that we're gonna do, sometime when he sends in the script of the show, I think I move a little bit too fast because I'll be trying to look up things that we're gonna talk about. So, and let's get to our next topic. Let's get over this one real quick. The Ebola outbreak in Africa. Why? Again, I thought that was done. I heard that the World Health Organization, and when our president got in office, he cut back on the funding for that. So let's listen to that report about what's happening. So many people are dying, and I don't think they had to.
In the Democratic Republic of Congo have been directly affected by Ebola as cases rise in Central Africa. Now, this is according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The CDC is now working with their partners to get them out. This is a new and deeply concerning outbreak of Ebola in the DRC and Uganda. Ebola is a severe and often fatal disease. Fatality rates historically have been anywhere between 25% and 90%. And there have been at least 80 suspected deaths, and cases continue to rise. And Sunday, the World Health Organization declared a public health emergency of international concern. Earlier, I spoke with Dr. Peter Piet. He's a co-discoverer of the Ebola virus, and he told me that the outbreak is a serious regional threat. It's happening in a region with high insecurity and population mobility and involves an unusual strain. It's called Bunbugyo, which has no proven vaccines or treatments. And he says that the virus may have
All
been
right.
spreading since March.
So they said that it came from some of the Africans eating a bat called it's a fruit bat, and that's the I guess would a bat be a mammal, or it's not an animal? Is it a mammal or animal? Soren.
Just an animal, but the reality is, with all of these viruses and bacteria that we have, anytime humans interact with animals,
right,
there's going to be a likelihood that
Trouble.
Good way to put it. Terminator. Yes. So the challenge is that we have, just using measles, for instance, where we had it vaccinated and basically eradicated in the United States, and then we stopped getting the vaccine. This is why medicine, science, and all these things are needed to help with these types of things. And the bottom line is we have to be able to mitigate them as much as possible because we do interact with animals. That's just what happens. But it's a very dicey, dangerous thing when they're not dealt with, interacted with properly, because their immune system is not the same as ours and vice versa.
Well, Terminator. So don't forget, this is where AIDS started too. AIDS in the first Ebola outbreak. I mean, of course, AIDS was caused by having sex and different partners. I mean, are they not getting the information? Or if one side of Africa looking out for their side? Because I asked a friend of mine who actually gives trips over to Ghana and a bunch of those places, and he said that they're separate and Africa is so big. But what do you think is going on that Africa can't handle these things on their own? Because there's a lot of Africans here that's in medical school, and they're like leading doctors in some hospitals. So what do you think?
Well, first of all, Africa is a vast continent. There are many countries in Africa. Some countries are extremely poor. Some countries are better off. As you mentioned Ghana. Ghana's a little more better off. Uganda, I heard I guess a specialist on one of the news stations talking about they had it under control. My first reaction when I was like we're still dealing with Ebola, but
exactly.
I don't know. Like I said, it's people like to call Africa a country, but it's a continent, and there's many countries in Africa. So, like I said, with many different situations.
Okay.
So sometimes if something starts in a poor country and it spreads, then they got to get it under control. But I don't know. I just hope they get it under control. We don't need any more situations going on. It's bad enough as it is.
You got that right. What about you, Noonie?
I'm with Terminator X. Ebola spinning the block again? What's going on? For real, prayers up, wash your hands, and stop anything that got bat. Stop eating anything that got BAT in it. Okay, stop that. Just stop that for a minute, respectfully. But for real. But it's just crazy that it's still starting over. It's like when did they not get the first time, as far as how we're controlling it, which he messed up the CDC though, but how we controlling it. So what are they not getting, and how can we supply it to them, or something? Something needs to happen. Exactly. But like you say, there's a lot of doctors over there. How come they ain't catch it with a net?
Well, one thing I did hear on the news this morning was that they tested initially for the main variant of Ebola, and this one is a mutated variant, which is why they weren't able to handle it and address it as quickly. So this is the reality of deciphering things medically.
It's Ebola 2.0.
Yeah. So if you go in and you think you have a problem in your arm, but it's really your leg that's messing up your balance, then they're not going to know that it's your leg messing up your balance. If you, my shoulder hurts, my shoulder hurts, my shoulder hurts, you might just had a bruise. And this is the thing that people don't really understand or appreciate about medicine or about science, is that you can look for something, but if you're looking in the wrong place, you're not going to get the right answer. And that happens all the time in science and in life. And I think that people need to realize that the doctors, the actual doctors, 99+% of the time are doing the right thing to try to solve and help people. It's the
true
bigger corporations that might not care, but the doctors themselves, 99.9% of them are out there trying to help and do the right things. And we got to understand that the viruses have no borders, have no care, have no racism or anything. They're just out to do what they do, which is destroy. So we have to be mindful of that too.
So Africa, I know you're listening. And let's, tell us or find out what you can do and tell people to stay away from each other, because I think that's how it's spread, and I think it's spread through sex. And stop eating those fruit bats. All right. Now it's time for a little music with our main man, Terminator X Hall of Famer, the Rap City Hip Hop Mix. What we got, X-Man?
All right, we got a little bit of everything. We got some Beanie Man, Steady B, Mantronics featuring MCT. We got some Spoonie G, Sporty Thieves, Heavy D and the Boys, Lords of the Underground, Dougie Fresh, Gangstar, and Group Home. When was the last time you heard a song from Group Home? Right here on the Chris Thomas Morning Show, sponsored by 100% Sucker Free Brands.
There we go. Let's go.
50,000 watts of funkin' hip-hop power.
Give me the girl, let me do it, keep the slum. The kind of girl we don't feel how much she man. Man, if you want to get the medal, you have to get a slum from a real again. Never get to me, that will. And if you never have your bad man, that will. And if you want to know good love, it will. Word up! You know the flavor. MC, and I'm here to explain why I do it. You can't stop this flame anytime that you want it. I'm the giver, and you can bet money that I'll deliver. The satisfaction is guaranteed. You want to break from weak links, you need the style that I'm displaying. You want it to pay it. Listen to every word that I'm saying. Keep using me until I'm all gone. Like a sponge soaking up this song, I won't complain, just say my name. To keep me motivated, never refrain from rocking your bottom. Yes, I got them. Lyrics so deaf, I think I should bottle them. This is different, that you know, and if you better use me. It's all about
Mantronics is the crew that you must hear, but please don't get concerned. Cause although our songs are really hard, we're really not here to burn. We're just here to rock this house, you see, for perpetuating ease. Yes, to rock the bars and to pitch blocks.
Come on, y'all, let's rock. Yes, y'all. Freak, y'all. A funky beat, y'all. And then you rock and roll, and then you roll and rock, and then you rock to the beat that just don't want you to stop. Cause I'm the S to the B, double O and Y. The one MC who you can't deny. Cause I'm the baby maker, I'm the woman taker, I'm the cold crushing lover, the heartbreaker. So come on, fly girls, and please don't stop. Cause I'm MC Spoonie G1 and hit the tip of the
In the new mall with a few broads in the shoe store. Copped the new cars and jumped in the two-door with the blue velour, shirt open with the chain showing. Where it's going to now be Range Rover with the waves blowing. Stay.
Money, money, money. Word up! You know the flavor! Money, money, money. never thought that you would grab me, undermine me, and backstab me, but I can see clearly now the rain is gone, the pain is gone, but what you did was still wrong. There was a few times I needed your support, but you tried to play me like an indoor sport, like basketball, tennis, pool, whatever. All I know is that you attempted to be clever. Nevertheless, cleverness can't impress, cause now you've been exposed like a person undressed, and I can see through you, cause I'm the guru, and what you gonna do when I start to step to you, cause when I pay you back, I'll be hurting you, and this ain't no threat, so take it personal.
Born in the ghetto, it's hard to survive. Some have achieved and many brothers try, but I realize which life to choose. I wanna make money, so I gotta pay dues, but there's no rules, and you only have one chance. If you're a kid, you face the circumstance. At night, I used to scream and shout, living in the ghetto, trying to get the hell out. So I would try as I watch my friends die, but all I could do is sit back and cry. These are feelings I'm expressing through my rhymes. I've been through hard times, so many problems on my mind. I wasn't living rich, and I also wasn't poor. I try to appreciate, but I deserve more. Yeah, Superman, superstar, give me super fat dough, like Pablo Escobar.
Yo, what's up? This comedian Mike Brooks with the Housewives of Better Road. You can catch on YouTube, and when I'm in Vegas, I'm down with the Chris Thomas Show and the Top Notch All-Star Team. Yeah.
This is Tony Rock. What's up? What's up, y'all? This is Tony Rock. And whenever I'm in Las Vegas, I only listen to St. Louis's own Noonie LaRue on the Chris Thomas Show with the top-notch All-Star team.
All right, here's for our station ID. You're listening to the Chris Thomas Show with Soren Baker, Terminator X, Noonie LaRue on KSHP 107.1 FM and 1400 AM. Now it's time for us to go to Noonie News.
Listen, you may not know me a lot of bit, but you're gonna know me a little bit. This is your girl, Noonie LaRue, with Nosy Noonie News, where I'm normally not nosy, but today doesn't count. So there. And this segment is brought to you by Find Your Rhythm at PiedmontHipCo.com. Now listen, one thing about Shaq, y'all, baby, he gonna stay booked, busy, educated, and funny, okay? Shaquille O'Neal just earned his master's degree from LSU. And meanwhile, and while walking across the stage, they introduced this man as Shaquille
O'Neal.
Charles Barkley O'Neal. I said at graduation, I'm saying, listen, but honestly, this was bigger than jokes. Shaq already a Hall of Famer, okay? Already rich, already a business mogul, already a culture icon. And he went back to school. That says a lot, okay? And his message hit me too, okay? Character is the key to success. See, a lot of people chase money, fame, attention, followers, but character determines who you are after the applause stop, okay? And Shaq, he one of them people who genuinely kind, funny, humble, and real, okay? Terminator X, run this clip because I ain't nothing funnier than a billionaire shooting shots on graduation.
Weekend.
Shaquille, I hate Charles Barkley O'Neal.
You heard that correctly. Shaq trolled his friend and former NBA rival Charles Barkley and enjoyed the moment, as you see right there, accepting his Master's of Liberal Arts degree at Louisiana State University. Shaq also earned his bachelor's from there back in 2000.
Listen, only Shaq can turn graduation into a TNT halftime, okay? Imagine someone getting a degree and still catching strays. Shaq, the only person who can preach character and still threaten Chuck at the same time. Now that's classic, okay? Chris, what does it say about Shaq that he still values education after already accomplishing so much?
There's other things that he can still do other than being rich and being on the the NBA. Him and Charles Barkley and Kenny the Jet Smith, and doing all the commercials. You know something? That's a great inspirational for people to look at, that you're never too old to go back and finish up your education. I think I'm gonna do that also.
That's it, and me too. Okay, Soren, do you think athletes like Shaq changing the conversation around education and long-term legacy?
I think this one is a little challenging for me, because if you're going to go get a degree and you're going to purportedly be educated, and then you're throwing shots at somebody, even if it's a joke per se, it's just kind of like, what are we doing? Here we are celebrating education and being intellectual and all these things, and we're throwing pot shots. So I, as a fan of Shaq and as a fan of comedy, I'm all for it, and I think it's hilarious he did it. But at the same time, if we're doing this to get some sort of dignity and higher educational acumen, it seemed a little out of place.
I understand that. I can see that. Okay, Terminator. What's more important in life, talent, character, or personality?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's more important in life, talent, character, or personality?
I would say character would have to be number one in those three. But I mean, if I think I agree with Chris. He's an inspiration. He kind of is lighthearted with everything. So I don't have a problem with what he did. Everybody knows that they're friends and friends and enemies at the same. They're frenemies.
Right.
And I think everybody who knows them know they go back and forth. And so I don't have a problem with what he did. It's funny. But he definitely is an inspiration. And I salute him. I mean, the more I learn about Shaq, the more I like Shaq. So
you and me both.
Salute. Yeah.
You and me both. When I grow up, I want to be just like him, I promise. Listen, Shaq proved something important. Success ain't just about money. It ain't just about fame. It ain't just about applause. It's about growth. It's about continuing, evolving, even after you won. You know what I'm saying? So like the world of Chuck would say, character gets you in the room, but personality keeps you there, okay? So shout out to Shaq for reminding people that education, humility, and being a good person still matters. This has been Nosy News, where I'm normally not nosy, but today was given degrees, discipline, and diesel-sized motivation, okay? And this segment was brought to you by PiedmontHemco.com. Find your rhythm. And let's hear from our sponsors.
Long day. Your body feels it. Piedmont Hemp Co. creates plant-based topicals designed for real life. Work, workouts, and everything in between. Crafted with hemp seed oil and natural botanicals. Our balms and body care help you feel good in your skin. Find your rhythm. Find your rhythm at PiedmontHemco.com. Piedmont Hemp Co. Wellness that fits your rhythm.
I found my rhythm. Now it's time for Lifestyles in Las Vegas with Hot Panda.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Lifestyle in Las Vegas with High Panda. It is staycation time again with your boy High Panda. This time we're getting even fancier over at the Wynn and Encore. We're staying at the Encore. This lobby bar is awesome, right by the elevators, so you can grab a drink and hang out for a little while before you go gamble your face away. But the decor in here, lots of gold, lots of reds. They have this amazing Cirque du Soleil show, Awakening. And the rooms, my God, this is a regular room. It is like a suite. It's got its own little living room, large, spacious area for you to hang out in, as well as a desk if you want to do some work, and the views, floor-to-ceiling windows that look out onto the Las Vegas Strip. You can see the Wynn and also the Sphere. I love watching the Sphere at night. Definitely a place that you can hang out all day long if you don't like to gamble or you don't want to go downstairs. You can do your staycation in here. Got to jump on the bed because it's so comfy and it's huge. The bathroom, immense, beautiful. Had to take a quick drop downstairs to the Italian steakhouse restaurant Allegro and have some of their amazing food. Had the pasta, had the chicken parm, and the desserts are awesome. Afterwards, checked out Lakeside over at the Wynn, and it's an outdoor venue. You can watch this free show on this giant LED screen with the water. It's so cool and it's free. Grab a drink, hang out, and enjoy yourself.
And now back to the Chris Thomas Show in Las Vegas with top-notch all-star team on KSHP Las Vegas, 107.1 FM, 1400 AM. And check us out on YouTube.
All right, now it's time for our favorite YouTube show, Unique Access with Soren Baker.
Yes. Thank you, Chris. Today on our Unique Access Entertainment segment, we got the director extraordinaire from the pioneering film Wild Style. And I talked to him about a myriad of things, but one of them that we talked about was how the music from Wild Style ended up being used by Nas and others. So when we come back to the panel, want to get either your favorite Wild Style memory or your favorite Nas memory. So Terminator X, when you're ready, let's make it happen, Captain.
You could consider Wild Style a live album.
Yes, I would agree with that. And to your point, though, that the soundtrack has been sampled and used so many different times.
It has been so amazing.
Yeah.
It's so amazing how many times it's been sampled, and it doesn't stop.
So
sometimes people ask permission. I won't say any more about that.
I was going to say, are you involved in the clearance when they do ask or no?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
There is no one else for them to talk to.
Okay, good.
One-stop shopping.
Well, I always think it's amazing every time I listen to Illmatic when it has it as the intro to the album.
It is amazing.
And it really sets
every song on that album is so good. They begin it, yes.
And it leads right into New York State of Mind, which, is an homage, I think, to Wild Style in general. So.
Yes, gold. It's gold, the whole thing.
Yes. So shout out to Charlie Ahern, director of Wild Style, one of the foundational films in hip hop culture, and shout out to Nas for using the music in the intro to Illmatic, leading into New York State of Mind, which is probably my favorite Nas song of all time. So Nunu LaRue, for you, what's a standout Nas or Wild Style moment for you?
Let me see. Okay, Nas memory. Okay, hearing If I Rule the World as an 80s baby felt like I was at all rich and all in my imaginary in 4 minutes. That was me. But yeah, I love me some Nas. When I heard that, it's like I felt like, shoot, I can't rule the world. And what they say, we run the world, girls. You know what I'm saying? But no, yeah, that's it.
Yes. And shout out to Curtis Blow for that reference as well, of course. But Terminator X, for you, what's a special Wild Style moment that you had?
Well, Wild Style, I would say this. Wild Style, I felt like was one of the few authentic hip hop movies. It was authentic. It wasn't I felt like it was live footage, stuff like that. And I think it's part of the foundations of hip hop as a whole, really. You had your movies that was put together like Breaking and all that kind of stuff, which is we kind of considered corny. We was happy that it came out because it was talking about the hip hop, but Wild Style was more authentic. Like what I mean, it was almost like a documentary as opposed to I So I wish they would have used more music, but it was sampled many times. It was just it's part of my upbringing in hip hop for sure.
Yes, me too. And Chris Thomas, for you, with the Wild Style, what was it like for you seeing the film the first time?
I'm trying to see if I saw the film. I know I did. So I'm gonna stay with what Terminator said. And what about you?
Well, like Terminator, to me, I thought a lot of the other films of that era, especially the ones quote unquote centered on b-boying and breakdancing, were very performative as opposed to quote unquote authentic to the culture per se. Whereas Wild Style, because it had all a lot of the artists themselves in there and in relatively, if not totally significant roles to the film, I thought it gave a different layer and level of things as opposed to having quote unquote actors in a lot of those roles. So I really like how the director Charlie Ahern infused that. And then the soundtrack, Grand Wizard Theodore had a big role in the soundtrack. And then having that then inspire somebody like Nas to put it on a landmark album like Illmatic, I think just showed the legacy and the significance of Wild Style. So definitely one of the early excellent rap films or hip hop related films. So definitely glad to talk to Charlie Ahern after so many years to get him on Unique Access. Everybody can check out the full interview if you haven't already. And back to you, Chris. Appreciate it.
All right. And you can listen to the Chris Thomas Show on these streaming radio stations: East to the West Radio, Live 365, Melodious Radio, Cheddar Vision Radio, 101 Jams, Connected Radio, GreatestDJsRadio.com, Ubiquity Radio and TV, Power NV 103.1, the hottest music in the desert, and of course ATX Soul Radio, and of course some podcasts you can listen to: Talking in Rhythm Podcast and Sunny Smiles Podcast. And now it's time for a little bit in R&B soul mix. This is DJ Mad Links.
DJ Mad Links.
I'm more than just an option. Hey, hey, hey. Refuse to be forgotten. Hey, hey, hey. I took a chance with my heart. Hey, hey, hey. And I feel it taking over. I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find, give all my love, and nothing's gonna tear us apart. I'm more than just a number. Hey, hey, hey. I doubt you'll find another. Hey, hey, hey. So every single summer, hey, 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 I'll be the one that you remember. And I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find, give all my love, and nothing's gonna tear us apart. It's more than just a mission. Hey, hey, hey. You hear but you don't listen. Hey, hey, hey. You better pay attention. Hey, hey, hey. And get what you've been missing. I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find, give all my love, and nothing's gonna tear us apart. Trips that you plan for the next whole week. Bands too long for so cheap, and your flex OD, your sex OD. You got it, girl, you got it. Hey. You got it, girl, you got it. Yeah. Pretty little thing, you got a bag and now you wildin'. You just took it off the line, no mileage. Waiting, hitting you the DM looking violent. Talking while you come around and now they silent. Through the Cooper 17, no guidance. You be staying low, but you know what the price is. Ain't never got you know it being modest. Pop it only cause you know you poppin', yeah. You got it, girl, you got it. Hey. You got it, girl, you got it. No, baby, and I'm back and I'm working. No, 9 to 5, put the work in. Those and all, I love them all. To me, you're perfect. Baby girl, you got it, girl, you got it, girl. You got it, girl, you got it, girl. I don't wanna play no games, play same damn thing. That's okay, cause baby, you got it, girl, you got it. Hey. You got it, girl, you got it. You the only one I'm trying to make love to, picking and choosing. They ain't really love you, running game using. All your stupid exes, they gon' call again. Tell them that a real stepping in. Don't let them try you, test your pace. Tell them that it's over, ain't no debating. All you need is me playing on your playlist. You ain't gotta be frustrated. I don't wanna play no games, ain't no games. Go around, get you my last name. I know you tired of the same damn thing. That's okay, cause baby, you got it, girl, you got it. You got it, girl, you got it.
How y'all doing? It's your boy Joe Torre, and when I'm in Vegas, you know what I'm doing. I'm listening to Chris Thomas and the Top Notch All-Star Team. Vegas, baby.
What's up, y'all? This is Tony Rock, and whenever I'm in Las Vegas, I only listen to St. Louis's own Noonie LaRue on the Chris Thomas Show with the Top Notch All-Star Team. You heard me.
You're listening to the Chris Thomas Show with the All-Star Team with DJ Terminator X, Soren Baker, Noonie LaRue, DJ Matt Links, and Layla Lopez right here on KSHP Radio, 107.1 FM and 1400 AM Las Vegas.
All right, Tony Rock came back twice for you, Noonie.
I heard
He must know that you're fantastic. Now let's check out our message of hope.
Good morning. Our scripture is Isaiah 55:3. Incline your ear and come to me. Listen that you may live. Devotional. You may be a person who prays a great deal. Perhaps you have a list of people you intercede for. Likewise, you share your heart with the Father, letting him know everything that's bothering you. Yet something might be still missing from your relationship with God. You don't feel close to him, sense his wisdom guiding your steps, or feel his resurrection power filling and fueling your obedience to him. Why is that so? The answer may be very simple. We all have friends who talk so much that we can never get a word in. Even when they ask us questions, they barely stop before they're off on another train of communication and spoken word. Sadly, that's how most of us are with God. We talk and we talk and we talk and we talk, and we don't stop to listen. Yes, we may ask God about his will, or we may pray and ask God for wisdom, but sometimes we don't allow enough time for God to respond before we're talking about something else and giving him a different opinion. But if you really want to know someone, you have to listen to them. And that goes the same way for God. God's every word has meaning and impact. God does not speak merely just to be heard. God speaks the very words of life that will absolutely transform you from the inside out. So stop and hear what God has to say. Our power thought is, Jesus, I come before you to listen. Speak, Lord, and I will obey. Have a blessed day.
Amen. Amen. The Chris Thomas Show is brought to you by the 100% sucker-free brands and PiedmontHempCo.com. Find your rhythm. And we will get to our last topic of the day, and we want Mark Hazy, the general manager of KSHP, to chime in because this is a very serious topic. And I get tired of seeing it. I was a kid too. I was a teenager too, but I didn't do half the stuff that these kids are doing. And to remember that they are somebody's kids. We cannot raise them. You have to raise them. There's too many, first of all, to raise. If you had them, you are responsible for them because they're only going to listen to you first. Anyway, so we got a clip that we want to hear Miss Judge Jenny Pirro, and this is what she's saying here in Washington, D.C., where I live.
Parents, you are not a bystander in this crisis. The taxpayers who are footing the bill by extra policing, cleaning up damaged property, suffering the effects of these illegal gatherings, whether it be noise or fights or robberies or chaos, are done. Starting now, parents, you're paying the bills. And if you know where your teen is and what your teen is doing, and you allow them to continue their conduct and continue to allow them to flourish, then we're going to prosecute you.
U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C.,
All right.
Bureau, putting parents.
All right. So I want to, and Mark, are you there?
Yeah, Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So is the same thing happening out in Vegas that is happening all over in these different cities?
Yeah, a lot of it is still is happening here in Vegas, but I don't know if other cities are doing it. But what Vegas has created, it's kind of a meetup zones and super smash zones. What they're inviting the kids to come to these different locations to meet up, where they do have police, where they do have security guards, and they do have people on location to kind of monitor and supervise these meetup groups. So Las Vegas has created spots and meetup places that kids can go to if they want to have these groups. There have been some chaos groups meetups where people are going to different location, like they were at the Fashion Show Mall, completely took it over, and the police were escorted. But it was peaceful. But then you do have some few knuckleheads in the group that are trying to get likes and clicks. So they are usually the agitators and the ones that kind of create the chaos so they can live stream it or put it on Facebook or YouTube. And so when you have a large group like that, you're going to have some people that are going to start to cause trouble. And so that's what we've seen here in Las Vegas. They are working with the city government, the different cities, to do these meetup groups at parks, libraries, and art galleries, where they can have and monitor these kids in a controlled environment.
Right. Okay. And Soren, you live in LA. So how do they control it out there?
I haven't seen as many of these types of problems in the area, other than they've had a lot of the street racing, street takeovers.
Okay.
And I haven't seen as many of those lately popping up. So that's good, because those are extremely dangerous beyond being unlawful. So I think fundamentally is when you give people in general, but especially kids, young adults, something to do that's productive and positive, they're going to do it, whether that's a sport activity, whether that's a community gathering, whether that's hanging out, whatever it is, they're going to do it. And we have thousands of years of history to show that. So, however, when you leave children totally unattended and you disrespect them and you do all these negative things, then we see the repercussions of that, sadly, and we're continuing to see them. So
we do. And in St. Louis, what's happening out there, Noonie?
Listen here, these kids wilding out. These kids is wilding out for clout. But baby, these parents' hands are tied though, because it's like nowadays you correct the child too hard, you end up trending. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we can't correct the child the way we need to. So it's like our hands is tied. Man, listen here, these kids is wilding out. So but what they have starting to do downtown St. Louis is a curfew. So we're gonna see how that works out. And if your kid is past curfew, then you will be, have a citation about that. Who's to say? My mama named Betty. I'm gonna say my mama named Carla. So you know what I'm saying? Like, who's to say you go get them a permit? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so they're trying that downtown St. Louis. But yeah, they wild.
And X-Man, Terminator X, what's happening in Raleigh, North Carolina?
Well, like, thankfully, we don't have a lot of that stuff here. Most I've ever seen is like the little Rough Rider imitators with the motorcycles and the dirt bikes and that stuff, kind of getting together. But I think the problem is
nothing to do.
We're in a time where parents are too busy trying to bring home the bacon and not taking care of the kids. They're not parenting their children. And that's not just, that's across the financial divide. I mean, from the top earner to the bottom earners, we're all about the money. I think society is not about family like it used to be. Used to be a time where the whole neighborhood brought your kids up. We don't have that anymore.
That right.
And I think we have to hold parents accountable. I mean, to a degree. I mean, if you make a good foundation, if you bring your child up in a good foundation and educate them, you shouldn't have to worry about them going astray. I mean, every child is different. I'm not saying there's no magic formula, but we don't have enough parents raising their children these days.
Yes.
And I think that's a big part of the problem these days.
Well, I think right here in DC,
HP North Las Vegas, FM, AM, K2968B North Las Vegas, and KSHP.com.
All right, so the problem is deep because these are teenagers, and I don't know what they think. This is not a TV show. This is not a cartoon where you pass away and you coming back like Bugs Bunny. This is for real. And on the other hand, being incarcerated costs it just as much money because you're going to want to call somebody, you're going to want to go and you want to have the snacks. So you'll put more trouble on your parents, especially if they don't have it. So all I can just say, as a father, I always tell my kids, please don't embarrass me. And that's all I could ever say to them because
all the time.
Right. And I will not embarrass them. What do you tell real quick? We got around about a minute and a half. What do you tell your kids, Soren?
Well, fortunately, now that my daughter's 16, I have done most of the guidance in the behavioral sphere, but mainly what I just told her was to listen and pay attention, because fundamentally you have to process things before you respond. And I think we get a little bit too heavy on the reaction these days as opposed to the understanding the situation. So I always try to tell my daughter, and I still do, that she needs to really understand what's happening, or at least get a better sense of what's happening before she does anything, so that she responds accordingly and appropriately to give her the best potential outcome for what she's looking for.
Exactly. So I want to let everybody know, if you're trying to hire us guys, you can call Big J at 704-298-3513, or Ragtime Entertainment. That's Ernie Dozier. That's 301-859-0459. And if you have any questions, you can send us an email. That's the Chris Thomas Show 2025 at gmail.com. And Mark, thank you very, very much for joining in on the conversation. Thank you, Soren. Thank you, Terminator X. Thank you, Noonie. And we'll have Mad Links back from Montreal very, very soon. And remember, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us. Brought to you by 1% Sucker Free and PiedmontHempCoat.com. We outie.
Bright lights, big city. Good morning, Vegas. It's the Chris Thomas Morning Show. Fly Cry, Uncle James, Hall of Fame.
Y'all need to pay homage, the original host, Chris Thomas, the